Have you ever wanted to learn how to score like Ling King? Pass like Eric.
Has some room. Waits, takes the pass to Kwame.
Defend like Nova.
Oh, sir, what a horrible mistake giving Nova. Oh, Nova breakaway!
Goalie like the great Elder Sage.
To keep their team alive. Can they do it? Does that one front take the shot and a big save?
Or dribble like yours truly.
Try to find a lane, take his time, hits a snipe, and there it is!
If so, then you've come to the right place, because this is Mondays with Mets. Welcome to the second episode of Mondays with Mets. In this episode, we're going to focus on defense. First, we'll start with positioning, both as a third man on defense and from the support and forward positions. Second, we'll go over defensive mechanics, things like how to clear the puck effectively and utilizing one-timer on defense. Third, we'll go over situational awareness, which will help you recognize what to do in different scenarios. And then we'll finish up with a defensive drill that you can work on with a friend. This is very important. Generally speaking, it's the defense's job to block the far post, whereas the goalie blocks the near post. Why? It's simply easier this way. A goalie will not always be able to react to a near post shot, so he keeps it covered, simple and easy. It's very important for the defense and goalie to trust one another. If you aren't consistently blocking the far post, your goalie will lose faith in you. And it works the other way around too. If your goalie isn't locking down that near post, the defense is going to lose faith in that goalie. He's going to start trying to go for aggressive steals instead of, positioning his stick correctly and responsibly covering the far post because he doesn't trust his goalie to even block those simple near post shots. So very important. Generally speaking, it's the defense's job to block a far post snipe, the one-timer, etc. Remember, if you're not sure where you should be positioned near or around the crease, try and make sure you have that far post covered. Very important. So let's take a look at a play that featured poor defense and some poor goaltending as well. Failure to block both the far post and actually the near post, which resulted in a goal for the other team.
And Nova's going to pick it up, probably give it to Mets. Mets is going to battle against Maharishi, and Mets wins the battle. And Mets trying to find a hole, trying to find a lane, take his time, hits a snipe, and there it is, 2-2!
So on this play, you should notice a few things. First off, Dark Angel played very bad defense on this play. I love Dark Angel, but it happens. He didn't have the far post properly covered. His stick was not positioned in a way to block that far post snipe. He got very lazy on defense. He just sat there. Maybe he thought he had it covered, but he obviously didn't. There was more than enough room to sneak that shot by. The second thing, harder to notice, is that Spitfire didn't have the near post covered initially. So what happened on this play, if you slow it down and you look, you'll see that Spitfire realized late that he didn't have the near post covered. So he went and he started to creep up to cover that near post. He lost track of the puck carrier and what he was doing. So he didn't shield in time because he was too busy correcting his positioning to pay attention to the puck carrier. Didn't even get a shield off after the shot went through. So that was a very clear example of poor defense and poor goaltending, resulting in a goal for the other team. Ended up tying the game late in the game in the ZHL match with a very simple positioning mistake by both the defense and the goalie. Let's take a look at another play with poor far post positioning by the defense that results in a goal for the other team. So in this play, the first thing the blue team should recognize is that Tanks' shield is down. So that means he's going to be very vulnerable to any type of attack. So instead of pressuring the red team, they all collapse on the crease. Lexia is really the only one trying to put any pressure on the red team at all. So he's trying to step in between Shaftman and Biz. Virus is in a completely useless position here. He's guarding the near post, which makes no sense. As a defender, you never want to guard the near post. Assuming you have a good goalie, Tanks is on the near post, so it makes no sense for Virus to be here. Virus should either be coming out to pressure Shaftman, or he should be moving up towards Biz. Instead, he stays on this near post, blocking what Tanks already has blocked. It makes no sense. So, Handsome Snail is up here on the far post, blocking a potential one-timer from Biz or Mark, which makes sense. He's in a fine position here. Honestly, what I would probably do if I was Snail is I would probably go out towards Biz and try to pressure him. But keeping your stick on this far post up here isn't bad. So he's blocking the far post one-timer, which is fine. But let's see what happens. So Shaftman passes it up to Biz, and then for no reason at all, Snail turns down. Now maybe he doesn't trust his goalie, maybe he doesn't trust Virus. I don't know what he's trying to do here, but instead of sticking to his assignment, his goalie sees that he had the far post covered, so Tanks isn't thinking that I have to go and boost up immediately towards this because he sees his teammate guarding it. Then he turns down for no reason, and he gives him a free goal. If he just if he stuck to what he was doing, he would have had it. Instead, he failed his assignment, so to speak, his defensive assignment. You know, you have to be decisive. If you're going to go and you're going to play on the crease and you're going to guard that far post, you have to stick to it. Instead, he just turned down for no reason. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Made no sense.
Yeah, especially since Tanks is going to look at his defense. And as a goalkeeper, you're always going to be aware of where your defenders are and what they cover.
Exactly.
Tanks is going to stay on his short side because at this point he thinks, oh, Snail is covering top post, so there's no reason a goal should be scored on this top post. The only possibility would be a meta one-timer, for example, from Bizarro. So he has to stick to his position.
Yeah. I'm assuming he misclicked. Like, hopefully, I don't know why else he would have
also
turned down there.
When you want to replace yourself, you always have to be aware of how your hitbox works with like the stick and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he messed up on this point. Okay, what's happening right now is that the Russian player, who's actually named like it's in Cyrillic, but it's Martin. Martin is going to try to clear the puck to the top board. He's in defense, which is a good move. You don't want the red team to have possession of that. And he's going to try to clear it away, but Shaftman is going to make a good pressure move and come back with the puck. It's a situation that happens pretty often, and it's quite important to know what to do in this situation. So we can already see Snail is going back to defense, which is a good move because you can see Shaftman is already boosting towards the net. So he's going to be in a dangerous position. So he's going back and he's going to try to intercept Shaftman progression. So here we can see he boosts. We can see his boost is not directly towards the middle of the crease, which could be arguably a dangerous play. You always want to boost toward the middle of the crease to be able to block the shots that will come from the front of the net. That's really important. So he's going to boost through, and he's not going to be able to stop Shaftman from keeping the puck and going on with the play.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
just to interrupt you for a second. Basically, Snail, he should be angling his boost towards the crease. Like, he should be trying to go like parallel with Shaftman, so that even if he doesn't come away with the puck, he's still in a position to block a shot or battle for the puck after his boost. The way he's boosting right here, it takes him completely out of the play. So if he doesn't come away with the puck here on this boost, he's going to be completely out of the play, essentially.
Yeah, that's basically it. There's like two really big important points in defense. It's both intercepting the play and being able to do a block, to body block the attacker. Very often you'll see ZHL level defenders just being in front of the attacker, just to be in the way and block him with the body, to catch the puck with the most of your hitbox. Very important.
Right, exactly.
So Shafma is going to click through Snail, who's going to be out of the play, and Lixaya is pushing towards the middle of the crease, which is arguably good play. But what happens is that they both end up on only one side of the net, and they're not even in front of the net directly. They're not in the middle at the point we were talking before. And that leaves Schaffman with so many options. Like right now, he could already pass to Bizarro, and that would be a goal. But he could also shoot straight, and he could also shoot top. And the defense right now is outplayed completely. There's like nobody around.
Right, so if you look at it right here, Shaftman can shoot that top post, or he can pass it to Biz for the one-timer. Tanks is completely in no man's land. He it's a total guess play for him at this point because his defense isn't covering either post. Shaftman has all the options in the world, so Tanks basically, he has to hope that his defense gets in position in time to block that Shaftman shot on the top post because they have no chance to cover Biz here, so Tanks is going to focus on the one-timer. But Shaftman makes the right call, and he shoots it. Easy goal, really a bad mistake on defense, poor positioning. Defense isn't only about stealing the puck. I think like a lot of less experienced players think that they equate like stealing with defense. Your positioning is just as important. Here's another good rule of thumb to keep in mind. When transitioning to team defense, make sure you pick up the nearest uncovered offensive player to you. What do I mean by uncovered offensive player? I mean a player on the other team who no one else on your team is in a proper position to cover. This is important. This does not mean that you always go and cover the closest player to you necessarily, because you might be close to a teammate of yours who can pick up that offensive player instead. So you go and you pick up maybe a more forward offensive player that only you are in a position to defend. This can depend on your teammate's forward momentum, his boost cooldown, etc. There are some exceptions to this general rule, like if a team has someone who offers a little offensive threat, you know they're probably not going to pass to him, or maybe you'd rather him get the puck instead of like a real power forward like Lane King. You might want to double team that power forward instead of, covering the weaker offensive player. But generally speaking, it makes more sense to play man-to-man defense and transition defense to prevent the other team from advancing the puck. If you position your stick well, if you're blocking the lanes, the passing lanes, the lanes just to advance the puck, it's very hard for the other team to move the puck forward to get anything done on offense against a good man-to-man transition defense. So important. When transitioning to team defense, make sure you pick up the nearest uncovered offensive player to you. So let's take a look at some examples from last week's ZHL matches of transition defense. Some good examples and some bad ones. What went wrong, what went right, how we can improve, and what the results were from those plays. So in this play, there was very poor transition defense. You see the blue team's forward, Bulbasaur, he boosted, trying to shark the goalie. It didn't work. So now Sleek is wide open. So what happens is, if you see in the top of the screen, Blue Dream has to go and cover that potential outlet to Sleek, which leaves kind of a 2v1 situation with Muffin Man and Ling. So Muffin Man gets the puck. Blue Dream is now trailing Ling by a pretty sizable amount. I mean, a player like Ling, you want to be right on top of him. So because of that failure in transition defense between Bulb and Blue Dream, it creates an excellent opportunity for Braxis. So Muffin Man has the puck. He just has to beat this one man. He just has to get by Mythic quick enough to get it to Ling, who's wide open. He just collects the puck. He boosts forward, does the balls cross, as I would call it. Easy goal. Just really very poor transition defense by Bulb, starting it with that really ill-advised shark attempt, and then Blue Dream having to pick him up. No, I don't blame Blue Dream too much because Sleek was wide open for that outlet, but you have to give more weight towards covering Ling than Sleek on that play. So poor transition defense there results in a goal for Braxis. Offense, and New Gettysburg is transitioning to defense. There's 2 people on Dust Devil, nobody really on iFound, nobody on Zack. Lightning's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Zack has all the time in the world to do whatever he wants. He could try and skate it up and get it to iFound. He could just give it to Vile, who has a direct line to iFound, which is probably the best thing to do here. Let's see what Zack does.
For all those people.
Yeah, Zack, very smart player. He sees what's going on in the play. He sees Vile has a direct line to iFound, so he gives it to Vile.
We're complaining.
Hits the long outlet to iFound. iFound still hasn't boosted. Lightning had to use his boost to try and get in position. He's still not in position to cover him. So let's see what happens. iFound now finally uses his boost. He's got Dust Devil wide open. He's got a sniping lane open. This is an excellent opportunity for the Chaldeer Yetis. They didn't score here, but this was an excellent opportunity that they had because of poor transition defense by New Gettysburg.
Great.
So on this play, Vile has the puck. New Gettysburg is now transitioning to defense. Chaldeer is going to try and do something on offense. Let's see what happens. Right now, right off the bat, it looks like pretty good defense. Everybody's covered pretty tightly, except for iFound, but when you're playing transition defense, you don't want to be super tight on the third man because then you kind of give him a lot of space to potentially work with. You want to try and stay like a boost length away from him. So right now, everybody's covered pretty tightly. iFound, not an easy situation for him. Nobody's open. Look at this. Zaxmax covered tightly by Kygo down here. Gorilla is right on top of Dust Devil. Lightning is a boost length away from iFound. So if iFound tries to do anything crazy, Lightning's going to be there to try and make an aggressive steal on him. iFound kind of like a desperation pass. You know, if you're relying on 1v1s versus Gorilla from midfield, you're not going to score a lot. So excellent defense by New Gettysburg. It results in an easy turnover. Well done by them. So in this play, we'll see 2 examples of good transition defense, primarily by Triple Q on Char. So let's see what happens. Halo hits it behind his boards to McDoodles. Sleek and Luffy are completely smothered. Elharion could be a little closer to McDoodles, but he's in an okay spot right here. He sees the defense collapsing on him. McDoodles has got to get rid of it ASAP, but there's no one open. Very tight defense. Well done.
What are they?
He tries to force it down to Luffy, his best player. Triple Q reads that, makes the aggressive steal, sees Elharion, gets it down to him. Nice scoring opportunity for Elharion. Doesn't score here, but that's okay. Second chance opportunity might be coming soon. So Sleek gets it, tries to clear it away. Triple Q just gets in there, boost steals it. Halo's got it now. So let's see what's happening here. McDoodles isn't really open. Elharion's right on top of him, especially when you take into account the delay from having the EU ping. That's a risky pass to pass to an EU player right there in front of you. Now he's probably not going to pass it to him. Moose, there is a line to Sleek, but Halo might be thinking, oh, Moose might have his one-timer activated, which could give him that extra range to try and shark the pass. He might think, oh, maybe he has his boost here, so he's probably going to try and get it to Luffy, his best player. He's got the easiest passing angle to him. But Triple Q's back here. He's in a good position to try and make an aggressive play here. Let's see what happens as this outlet develops. Halo boosts in, and when you see a player boost, they're most likely going to hit the puck after that, and especially in these type of situations. Triple Q reads the play beautifully, boosts in at the opportune time, steals the puck, snipes it in. Nice goal. Nice job by Triple Q. So right here, McDoodles has the puck. They're on offense, and then he turns it over to Triple Q, and intercepts the pass, and then Sleek does a really, really ill-advised thing here. Okay, so Sleek's kind of far away from Triple Q. Sleek doesn't have momentum either going this way. Triple Q's got momentum going forward, and he's got his boost. So Sleek tries to do like a super aggressive play here. He tries to Vab steal it and like quick snipe it in, but he wasn't even remotely close to Triple Q to be able to do that. He didn't have the proper momentum. He wasn't in the proper positioning to do that. So now this is a really good scoring opportunity for Char. Triple Q takes it upfield. He's got plenty of space. McDoodles has to try and boost in here to cover his angle. EU ping too much for him to turn back and intercept that pass. So Triple Q gets down to Elharion. Nice pass. Nice opportunity. Elharion converts on the second chance rebound. Nice play by Triple Q. Nice execution by Elharion. Bad transition defense by Kaldir. So in this play, Mythic has the puck by his boards. He just cleared it. So he's looking to pass it here. Ling's coming in hot. So he knows, I got to get rid of this puck right now. So he clears it downfield to Bulb. Muffin Man's trailing right behind him. Sleek coming up in that lane. So Sleek's blocking the passing lane to Blue Dream, but also applying second man pressure to Bulbasaur right here. Very nice defense by Muffin and Sleek. Really nice. The pass, like, there is a pass to Blue Dream here, but it's pretty hard to hit. And you know Bulb isn't really a pass first type of guy. So Sleek applies the second man pressure here. Boosts in, turns back when Bulb turns back, blocks the passing lane. Muffin Man comes away with the steal. 1v1 opportunity for Ling. You love those chances when you can get them. And that was a result of good transition defense. Ling gets the puck, snipes it in. Nice goal, nice defense. Clearing is probably the most important part of defense. It seems kind of obvious, but I still see a lot of pro players and newer players not clearing the puck properly. They just hold it too long in front of their own net, and it gives the other team easy second chance opportunities to score. It's the easiest way to get scored on. The simplest way to clear a puck is just to spam it to the boards, but there's other things that you can do as well. So we'll take a look at that. We'll see some good examples, some bad examples. First, let's start with a bad example. So on this play, you see the worst possible thing that you can do as a third man on defense. So it's a really weak shot. Tank shields. He's got high ping. Probably, he's playing it safe, so he uses the shield. Wetsaya picks it up off the shield. No one's really that close to him. He could easily just pass it back to Tanks. He could dribble it back behind his net. He could just clear it to the boards. He even has a teammate downfield, Open Virus. He could, if he's really quick with it, he can hit it off the boards down to him. Instead, what he does is he just holds the puck in front of the net for way too long. And not only that, he turns back towards the other team. So instead of turning his stick up and safe towards the boards or towards the back of his net, he turns it towards Biz. Not to be too critical, but that's really bad. You don't want to do that, because that's the easiest way to get score on Biz. He just boosts. He gets it with the boost steal. He doesn't even click. He just taps it into the near post. That's the quintessential what you do not want to do on defense. Hold the puck in front of your own net, especially when your goalie shields down. Just clear it away, dribble it away. Don't do that. Especially do not turn towards the other team with the puck in front of your net. It's very bad. So on this play, we'll see a standard example of a regular clear to the boards by Carlito. He sees his goalies in kind of a tough position to make a save with his shield down, so he just gets in there, he turns his stick up towards the boards, and he spams it out of there. Another option on clears is to turn them into transition offense through dribbling. If you're good at dribbling, you can clear the puck by dribbling it out of the other team's reach and into a fast break opportunity. This is very difficult and requires excellent mechanics and vision to know when to do it. But let's take a look at an example. So on this play, the first thing I do is I clear it to the boards, safe and simple, and I boost up and I retrieve the puck. Then I see I have room in front of me to go and dribble. I'm pretty confident that I can dribble it pretty safely there. There's plenty of room for me to go and do that. Me and Proster were both on cooldown with boost, so there's not a huge risk if I turn it over. He's probably not going to be able to score on that play. I still see Zax Max kind of in the defensive zone, and Carlito starting to rotate back, so I feel pretty confident in that situation. If you're good at dribbling, you should start to recognize these opportunities when they come up and try to take advantage of them, because you can turn them into fast break opportunities for your team.
All right, so Mark did a successful defending move in the last action. So he ends up with the puck and with nobody on him, so he has a lot of time. What he's going to try to do is obviously to push the puck further up and to pass to either of his teammates, Halfman or Bizarro, to keep the play going. So he's going to go down near the bottom board, and Martin, the Russian player, is going to try to pressure him. And we can see already Mark is taking a long time and charging up a strong pass, which is fine to do. But when you're in such a position as last man, it's very important to get the puck up the fastest possible. You don't need to be the most accurate possible in the pass. You can do it a bit slower or a bit wide. Bizarro and Schaffman should be able to catch it up if you bounce it bottom to Bizarro, or if you turn around and bounce it top to Schaffman. It's fine. You don't have to do the most perfect, accurate pass. What you need to do is to get rid of the attacker Martin that's pressuring you, and to push the puck forward the fastest possible.
Yeah, one thing that should be noted is that the way Mark's positioned here, he's so close to the bottom boards that he can't really pass off the bottom boards. Like if he was up a little further, like near where I think his name is Virus, the Russian player, if he was near him, he could also pass off the bottom boards to Bizarro. But because he's so close to the bottom boards, he can't actually really pass off of the bottom boards, so he's taking that option out as well. Like the easiest thing to do here, because you don't want to turn the puck over as third man, like that's the easiest way to give the other team like free chances. He could just pass to Angry right here. Like he has a straight line to Angry tits, and then Angry could pass to Chefin so easily. Like he has a direct line to him, straight to him. Instead, he kind of just I think probably what happened here is he probably got like tunnel vision. He probably didn't even see Shaftman up here. Like, kind of forgot about him. And then, like, at this point, it's too late. Like, the only thing he could do here is just turn back and pass to Angry. But he probably had tunnel vision. He probably saw Biz as the most forward guy. Thought, you know, I'm going to try and force a pass to him instead of using his other teammates on this play.
Yeah, plus, if Mark passes up earlier, and Virus still does the pressure, you end up with a. We can see, look at it more precisely. So recovers, Yeah, I mean, after that, like, if Virus goes for pressure on him and uses his boost, Mark then has all the time in the world if he goes back a little bit,
Right.
or if he wants to broaden the play by shooting a top or a bottom.
Yeah, I think his two biggest mistakes on this play was one, getting just way too close to the bottom boards, and then probably also like holding power down right away. Because if you're not like if you're not a very what's the word I'm looking for? Confident puck handler. Like if you're holding power down, you kind of want to play very conservatively. So he went and like immediately tried to go away from the other team because he was holding power down instead of trying to make a play or like look for his teammates right away, because he kind of got scared, I think, when he started holding power down right away. You don't always have to hold power down, especially like he obviously didn't see anything open early on. Otherwise, I'm assuming he would have passed it. So just wait until you see something that you want to pass or shoot until you start holding power down. Like you don't have to hold power down right away. Like when I was new, I would always hold power down as soon as I got the puck, and I started more recently actually not doing that. It really helps a lot.
Yeah, also you can anticipate that if your teammates are positioning correctly, you can anticipate Pizarro going to the bottom side of the field and Shaftman going to the top of the field.
Right.
So you don't need to wait for them to be in this exact position. You
Exactly.
can bounce the puck for the puck to be relatively around the bottom part of the field, around midfield for Pizarro to catch. That's definitely where he's going to go to create the next step of the play. So you don't want the pass to connect directly. You can just have the puck end up around this area, and Pizarro is going to take it and create an offensive play afterwards.
Exactly.
All right. So Restraw got the puck, and he safely cleared it, which is perfect. He had a great interception there, and he's taken it back. What he could have done is tried like some sneaky forward pass to Mets, but I don't know. That requires both skaters to be on the same page. I think him going back here was smarter. But then here's where his mistake comes in. And if we keep going, you'll see it. So Elder Sage is open on the bottom, and Elder can even go like further down to be even more open and cause a 2v1 breakaway in the opposite direction. But instead, he forces it off the top boards. The mistake is before this. What's Elder talking about?
I mean, when I'm wide open, you can simply just pass to me, but he instead chooses to run back and then do the difficult pass to Mets.
Oh yeah, even earlier in the play you were open.
Yeah, he should have done that earlier, but that's like a really hard heads-up play to make.
Yeah, but even this should be an easy play to make. Anybody should be able to see that Elder's open here, should be able to just wait an extra second and then give it to him instead of trying to force that pass to the most forward man who has a guy on him. Umbrian is on me, and he can defend this pretty easily as long as he's aware of what's happening. So let's go forward a little bit more and see what happens. So it's a pretty slow pass off the board. Umbrian's right there to contest it.
Yep.
And even if I maintain possession here, like Zach's back here, I can't really score to do anything here. Maybe I can get a pass to Elder. That's really my only option.
Yeah, it's kind of like forcing an even better turnover for my team.
Exactly, right.
And just like that, here it is.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is a great setup for the red team.
Right, now they have three guys going on to offense. Zach's wide open. Tries to get it to him, and he misses the pass, but it would have been a great opportunity there if he hit it.
Pass to the guy who's open, not necessarily the guy who's most forward. Especially if the guy who's open has boost.
Well, they call it support for a reason, because they're supposed to support both the defense and the offense.
Yes.
Don't always try to just brute force it to the player who's most forward. Try to go through to support. Let him burn the goalie's shield. Let him make some plays and get the offense open. Do some one-timer passes, things like that, instead of trying to just force it down the field to the most forward player. Unless you have linking, that's usually not a good strategy. And even with link, it's not a great strategy either. I see his teams try to do that in ZHL, and it hasn't or for a championship yet for him. If you go through to support, it makes everything easier. It makes it easier for the defense, and it makes it easier for the offense.
Yes. A good example of a player who does that well is obviously like Maharishi.
Oh,
but
yeah.
as someone that I consider like a very experienced support, I think I am. And I would say the biggest thing that I try to remind myself, especially if I'm having a bad game, is that less is more. Don't try to force plays. Just play safe, pass to the guy who's open, and something will happen. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no reason to ever try and force stuff unless you're like really desperate for a goal late in game. You know, if you're down by a few goals, something like that, that's understandable. But in a 2-all game, 2 minutes left in the second period, there's no reason to be trying to forcing, you know, like really risky passes for no reason when you have a teammate wide open. One-timer can be used in 2 ways on defense. The first way, as we went over in episode 1, is to use it to clear a loose puck. The second way is to use it to hit a shot or pass away on defense. This is more effective than just left-click spamming for 2 reasons. First, it instantly hits the puck with power, obviously, because it's a one-timer. Secondly, and most importantly, it increases your stick pickup range. So there will be plays where you can use one-timer to hit a pass or shot away that you wouldn't have been able to block otherwise. But because one-timer slightly increases your pickup range, it'll enable you to block it instead. So this is very important. Keep this in mind. One-timer increases your stick pickup range, not by a ton, by a hair. And once you become more accustomed to one-timer, more experienced using it on defense, you'll start to recognize those plays where you can use it and potentially save a goal that you wouldn't have been able to if you didn't use one-timer. So start to get into the habit of using one-timer on defense. First off, yes, to clear the puck on loose pucks. Secondly, to hit passes and shots away that you weren't in range to block otherwise. Since there's so many different situations that can arise in it over the course of a match, we're not going to go over every single type of play. I'm going to go over 2 types of plays that I see happen often and that give you an idea of what I'm trying to convey. That you shouldn't have tunnel vision on defense. You shouldn't just focus on the puck carrier. You should see the big picture. You should see where everybody is on the field and trying to think to yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I positioned in the right way? So let's take a look at a play where a player was playing good defense at first, but then maybe he lacked the situational awareness, maybe he lacked the confidence in his decision making, and then it ended up turning into an excellent scoring opportunity for the other team.
All right. So what Redstraw should have done, he was actually doing perfectly. He boosted in, and he cut off the shot angle from Vapor. That's beautiful. The pressure is on Vapor. He has to make a move. He has to either get by Redstraw or delay the play for Umbreon to get up here. So what Redstraw should have done, instead of going back towards the crease, is continue this angle he has, which is perfect, and try to clear the puck away from Vapor. And if he puts his stick right in between the goalie and Vapor, Vapor cannot shoot past him, and he'll be able to just spam click it out of there. Elder Sage with the beautiful woman on the left side. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and basically as Zach's saying, right now it's just a 1v1 play. Umbreon's way out of the play right here. So what Redstraw ended up doing was retreating, not committing to the play, and he ended up making this 1v1 into a 2v1, which is infinitely worse for the blue team. Especially when you have a player like Vapor, he's going to hit 90% of the passes that he makes anyway. You really want to take him out of the play. Take his teammate out of the play when you have the opportunity. Instead, he doesn't commit to the play. He backs off, and it becomes an easy scoring chance for the red team.
Yeah. So we have a position in which you will end up sometimes as last defender, which is you have two attackers on the blue team, and they're coming at you, and you're all alone in a defensive position. So what you're gonna try to do at this point, like Mark in the last defensive position, still has his boost in front of Snail, whose boost is just about to be live again. So what you will want to do as Mark is to be as much as an annoyance as you can for Snail. You have to be in his way, you have to always follow his moves and to boost with him. What Mark does in this play is that he goes directly into Snail to try to steal the puck in a very aggressive way. This is a very, very, very risky play from Mark, especially from the midfield. Because if he misses, and he does, it's going to leave Handsome Snail with so much space in front of him that he can bait the force field, he can snipe, he can pass back to Virus, who's going to come up. So it's gonna give him so much space and time that it's almost certain this will end up with a goal.
Yeah, and
Mark, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sorry. Another important thing to realize about this play is that Mark also wasted his boost because he turned around to face Snail and he used his X, and then by that time he lost all his momentum. So when he boosted, he kind of like sputtered out. You know, he wasted his boost. What he could have done instead was let me just rewind a little bit. When he was kind of like right on top of Snail, what he could have done, so he could have turned around earlier here, like right around here. If he could have turned towards his own net and boosted and spam clicked the puck away, even if he didn't come away with the puck, he still would have been moving towards his own net, so he would have still been in a defensive position. Instead, what he does is he tries to steal it, and he gets really greedy because he doesn't even use his boost here. So he's trying to save his boost too for no reason. So basically, if he doesn't come away with the puck here with the way that he's facing with his momentum or his lack thereof, it's going to be a 2 versus 0 for the blue team. That's exactly what happens. See right here, he has no momentum going in this direction, and then he uses his boost. So he completely sputters out. Was there something else that you wanted to talk about on the play?
No, really, just go over the fact that, yeah, you really want to be the shadow of the puck holder. You really want to stick with him and to keep the same momentum as him. That's the most important.
Yeah, and
you can, again, body block.
Right, and like as we talked about earlier, like stealing isn't the only part of defense. It's also positioning properly, blocking off the passing lanes and the shooting lanes. And instead of trying to do that, Mark just sold out completely trying to go for the steal, and he wasn't maybe cognizant of also remaining in a defensive position. So you can play aggressively on those plays, and you can try and go for the steal, but make sure that you have a backup plan that if you don't come away with the puck, that you're still going to be in a defensive position by using your boost in a way, using your momentum in a way that you can still get back in a defensive position. Because you don't want to leave your goalie in a 2v0 situation. Even a great goalie like Angry is not going to be able to save those most of the time.
So this is a type of situation I see happen very frequently, especially when I'm playing like pub games or in-houses with pro players. I see this happen quite often. So let's imagine that the blue team's attacking here. So they have the puck in the bottom wing. The third man's wide open. But where's the forward on the other team? He's all the way downfield. So if you look here, the guy defending the blue player with the puck has a direct line to his team's forward with no one covering him. So if he goes in and he boosts and he just spams the puck straight across from him, straight to his forward's going to have a clean breakaway to the other team's net. So where the third man should be positioned here is he should be closer to the forward. He doesn't have to be right directly on him, but he just needs to be in an area where he can get back there and defend with his boost. Because right now, where he's positioned, he can't defend that player. So this is a simple defensive drill that you can work on with a friend. The idea here is simple. You both take turns with the puck. One person plays defense, one person is the puck handler. The objective is to get to the other team's crease. So if you're the defense, your job is to block the lanes and to try and steal the puck. If you're the offense, you try and just advance the puck into the crease. You take turns back and forth. It'll really help your defensive clicks, your stick positioning to block those lanes, block those angles, and it'll help you offensively as well. It'll help your dribbling skills, it'll help you your juking, etc. So this is really helpful. I did this a lot. My first season in ZHL, I did it a lot with Yoda and Tom, and it definitely helped me a lot. So give it a try, see how it works for you. This concludes the second episode of Mondays with Mets. I hope you all found it really helpful. Thanks once again to Zach, Elder, and Moss for helping me out with this episode. Next week, hopefully next week, I don't think it'll be done by next week, but we'll see. Episode 3 will focus on offense, so that should be an interesting one. Again, I'll be joined by some special guests, so stay tuned. I still don't know who all is going to be helping me on that one, but we'll see soon enough. Thanks once again for watching. This is Mets. See you next time on Mondays with Mets.
With the puck, has some room. Wait, takes the pass. Oh, sir, what a horrible mistake. Oh, no, breakaway!
To keep their team alive. Can they do it? Does Elder Pro take the shot? A big save from Elder save.
Try to find a lane, take his time. Hit the strike again!
That. It's always a tough thing when one hitter gets you. Oh no! Shackman took a long snipe.